Hi, welcome to the Konsai 137 lecture. Sunny here. In this module, we will discuss transmission media. Let's start. Transmission media are actually located below the physical layer and are directly controlled by the physical layer. We could say that the transmission media belong to layer 0. It is anything that can carry information from a source to destination. Computers and other telecommunication devices use signals to represent data. These signals are transmitted from one device to another in the form of electromagnetic energy, which is propagated through transmission media. Electromagnetic energy is a combination of electric and magnetic fields vibrating in relation to each other. In telecommunications, transmission media can be divided into two categories, guided and unguided. Guided media includes twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, and fiber optic cable. Unguided medium is free space. Twisted pair cable consists of two conductors, each with its own plastic insulation twisted together. One wire is used to carry signals to the receiver, another is for ground reference. If the two wires are parallel, effect of unwanted signals is not the same since they are located at different distance relative to the noise. Applications are telephone lines, DSL, and LANs. If the two wires are parallel, the effect of these unwanted signals is not the same in both wires because they are at different locations relative to the noise or crosstalk sources. This results in a difference at the receiver. By twisting the pairs, a balance is maintained. Twisting makes it probable that both wires are equally affected by external influences. This means that the receiver, which calculates the difference between the two, receives no unwanted signal. There are two types of twisted pair. Unshielded twisted pair, or UTP, is the most common twisted pair cable used. Shielded twisted pair, or STP, is produced by IBM and has metal foil or braided mesh covering. The Electronics Industries Association has developed standards to classify unshielded twisted pair cable into 7 categories. Categories are determined by cable quality, with 1 as the lowest and 7 as the highest. Each EIA category is suitable for specific uses. The connector used is the RJ45. RJ means registered jack. The UTP has a color coding standard for the pin assignments. The most commonly used are T568A and T568B. The pairing of the wires is important to be able to transmit and receive signals. Coaxial cables has a central core conductor of solid or stranded wire enclosed in an insulating sheet, which is in turn encased in an outer conductor of metal foil, braid, or combination of the two. It can carry signals of higher frequencies than twisted pair cables. Applications are telephone lines, cables, and LANs. There are two categories, the thicknet and thinnet. Thicknet uses RG11 to transmit 10 megabits per second with a range of 5,000 meters. ThinNet uses RG58 with VNC connectors to transmit data at 10 Mbps with a range of 185 meters. RG means radio government. Here is a picture of an RG11. Here is an RG58. A fiber optic cable is made of glass or plastic and transmits signals in the form of light. To understand optical fiber, we first need to explore several aspects of the nature of light. Light travels in a straight line as long as it is moving through a single uniform substance. If a ray of light traveling through one substance suddenly enters another substance of a different density, the ray changes direction. As the figure shows, if the angle of incidence I is less than the critical angle, the ray refracts and moves closer to the surface. If the angle of incidence is equal to the critical angle, the light bends along the interface. If the angle is greater than the critical angle, the ray reflects and travels again in the denser substance. Note that the critical angle is a property of the substance, and its value differs from one substance to another. Optical fibers use reflection to guide light through a channel. A glass or plastic core is surrounded by a cladding of less dense glass or plastic. The difference in density of the two materials must be such that a beam of light moving through the core is reflected off the cladding instead of being refracted into it. Current technology supports two modes for propagating light along optical channels, each requiring fiber with different physical characteristics. Multimode can be implemented in two forms, step index or graded index. Multimode is so named because multiple beams from a light source move through the core in different paths. How this beam moves within the cable depends on the structure of the core. In multimode step index fiber, the density of the core remains constant from the center to the edges. A beam of light moves through this constant density in a straight line until it reaches the interface of the core and the cladding. The term step index refers to the suddenness of this change, which contributes to the distortion of the signal as it passes through the fiber. A second type of fiber, called multimode graded index fiber, decreases this distortion of the signal through the cable. The word index here refers to the index of refraction. The index of refraction is related to density. A graded index fiber, therefore, is one with varying densities. Density is highest at the center of the core and decreases gradually to its lowest at the edge. Single mode uses step index fiber and a highly focused source of light that limits beams to a small range of angles, all close to the horizontal. It is manufactured with a much smaller diameter than of the multimode fiber and with substantially lower density. The decrease in density results in a critical angle that is close enough to 90 degrees to make the propagation of beams almost horizontal. In this case, propagation of different beams is almost identical and delays are negligible. Optical fibers are defined by the ratio of the diameter of their core to the diameter of their cladding, both expressed in micrometers. Here shows the composition of a typical fiber optic cable. The outer jacket is made up of either PVC or Teflon. Inside the jacket are Kevlar strands to strengthen the cable. Below the Kevlar is another plastic coating to cushion the fiber. The fiber is at the center of the cable and it consists of cladding and core. Indoor fiber packages are composed differently from outdoor fiber packages. Here are some of the examples of fiber optic connectors. Fiber optic cables offer several advantages. It has higher bandwidth, less signal attenuation, immunity to electromagnetic interference, resistance to corrosive materials, it is lightweight, and has a greater immunity to tapping. The disadvantages, however, are the installation and maintenance. Since this is a newer technology, you need directional light propagation, which means you always need a pair of fiber optic cables, one to transmit signals, the other to receive, and the high cost. Unguided medium transport electromagnetic waves without using a physical conductor. This type of communication is often referred to as wireless communications. Signals are normally broadcast through free space and thus are available to anyone who has a device capable of receiving them. There are three propagation modes. Ground propagation, where the radio waves travel through the lowest portion of the atmosphere, hugging the Earth. The low-frequency signal follows the curvature of the planet. Distance depends on the amount of the power. In sky propagation, higher frequency radio radiate upward to the ionosphere where they are reflected back to the Earth. Sky propagation allows for greater distance with lower power output. Line of sight propagation has a very high frequency signals are transmitted in straight lines directly from antenna to antenna. The section of the electromagnetic spectrum defined as radio waves and microwaves is divided into 8 ranges called bands, each regulated by government authorities. These bands are rated from very low frequency to extremely high frequency. We can divide wireless transmission into three broad groups: radio waves, microwaves, and infrared waves. Although there is no clear-cut demarcation between radio waves and microwaves, electromagnetic waves ranging in frequencies between 3 kHz and 1 GHz are normally called radio waves. The behavior of the waves, rather than the frequencies, is a better criterion for classification. Radio waves, for the most part, are omnidirectional. When an antenna transmits radio waves, they are propagated in all directions. Its signals can penetrate walls. It is susceptible to interference by another antenna that sends signals using the same frequency or band. Its application is in multicasting. Electromagnetic waves having frequencies between 1 and 300 GHz are called microwaves. Microwaves are unidirectional. When an antenna transmits microwaves, they can be narrowly focused. This means that the sending and receiving antennas need to be aligned. The unidirectional property has an obvious advantage. A pair of antennas can be aligned without interfering with another pair of aligned antennas. Microwave propagation is line of sight. However, signals cannot penetrate walls. It has higher subbands and higher data rate. Applications are unicast, cellular networks, satellite networks, and wireless LANs. Microwaves need unidirectional antennas that send out signals in one direction. Two types of antennas are used for microwave communications: the parabolic dish and the horn. The parabolic dish antenna is based on the geometry of a parabola. Every line parallel to the line of symmetry reflects off the curve at angles such that all the lines intersect in a common point called the focus. The parabolic dish works as a funnel, catching a wide range of waves and directing them to a common point. In this way, more of the signal is recovered than would be possible with a single-point receiver. Outgoing transmissions are broadcast through a horn aimed at the dish. The microwaves hit the dish and are deflected outward in a reversal of the received path. A horn antenna looks like a gigantic scoop. Outgoing transmissions are broadcast up a stem and deflected outward in a series of narrow, parallel beams by the curved head. Received transmissions are collected by the scoop shape of the horn in a manner similar to the parabolic dish and are deflected down into the stem. The infrared band has a frequency from 300 GHz to 400 THz. Such a wide bandwidth can be used to transmit digital data with a very high data rate. However, it is a short-range communication and the signals cannot penetrate walls. The Infrared Data Association, or IRDA, an association for sponsoring the use of infrared waves, has established standards for using these signals for communication between devices such as keyboards, mice, PCs, and printers. It has a line-of-sight propagation. This ends Module 10. Thank you.